Okay, here we go again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to BWTM Sports. We have with us the trainer of Errol Spence, the trainer of Rob Brant, the trainer of Charlo, Derrick James. Derrick, how are we doing?
I'm good. How you doing? That Jermell Charlo, not Jamal. Jermell Charlo.
Well, actually,
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I didn't mention any Charlos. I just said Charlo. I didn't know which one. Whether it was Jamil or Jamal. I get confused with them.
Yeah, Jermell. I trained Jermell.
Jamel. So I said Charlo. I made sure to say Charlo. I know which one it was. So now it's Jamil. So I'll start again. The trainer of Jermell Charlo, Rob Brant, and Errol Spence Jr. Anybody else?
Nah, that's it. Just good guys, man.
Good. Good evening, Mr. James. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing, man?
I'm
Doing
good.
really good.
I'm good. It's been a while since we last spoke, and congratulations again.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Nice win. Nice. Your guy fought the other night, wasn't it?
Yeah. Jermell, yeah.
That's the one that got the knockout, right?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah,
That's
Jermell. Yeah, that's
that's
him.
the guy that before the fight, everyone was saying that he was going to be the toughest fight of his career. Lubin was going to be like some guys were saying that Lubin was a legend already before time. And then when Lubin got knocked out in the first round, they said that Lubin had a glass jaw. So can you explain to me the process?
I don't know anything about the glass jaw part. I just think that nobody could have stood up to a punch like that. For one, he didn't see it coming. Secondly, it threw it very hard. I mean, so put his whole body into it. So it's kind of hard to deal with 150, 160 pounds of pressure landing on your jaw. Definitely when you don't see it. If you go back and listen to it, the punch was very loud, like pop, like a home run that hit or whatever out of the stadium. So it was, Lubin, I mean, he was a very formidable opponent. I mean, but, I think that, he just, it was early. It was too early to say anything about anything, but it was, up until that point, he played the part for his whole career. He looked great. Everybody fought him. So I think that was just another level he wasn't accustomed to being on, possibly, and that's what it was.
Okay, so I spoke to your good friend Abel Sanchez the other day. Well, yeah, this morning I spoke to him. I was talking to him about the World Boxing Super Series, and I said that I consider you to be trainer of the year, or at least you should be recognized for the work that you've done over the last year. And he, obviously Errol Spence, Charlo, Jamil, and of course, you've got Rob Brant. If should you get the victory, which I suspect you're going to be wanting, you're not going to be going to Germany for the sake of going there to make up the numbers. Should you get your guy into the next round, that would be a trio of victories and good victories as well. Definitely, your name should be in the talk for trainer of the year. When I said this to Abel, he said, Charlo was a project that started off with Ronnie Shields. Yes, he's done good with Errol Spence, and we'll have to see what he does with Rob Brant. He says that Derrick James is he deserves the credit, and he's a good up and coming young trainer. So I'm not sure why he called you a young trainer, but obviously there's
Hey, man,
some needle there.
I'm an ex-boxer. That's funny coming from a guy who never boxed before. A guy who never boxed can tell you something about an up-and-coming young boxer. Come on, man. He doesn't like that I talk about Triple G. Every time he cares to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. I think he doesn't like that. So, I think that's really what it is. And it is what it is. I mean, think about this. The wins that I've had, Ronnie Shields, he had been with Ronnie Shields for over 2 years. And how many knockouts did he have up to that point? So and every one of our fights, he had all knockouts. 4 fights, 4 knockouts. So, I mean, matter of fact, the past 4 years or 5 years, we've had all knockouts. How Hey, look at his top roster. I'm just asking. Has he lost any?
He's lost a couple.
Sure he has.
Yeah, he has.
Huh?
Yes, he has.
I'm sure he has, yeah. So I mean, but it's okay, man. I mean, I don't base my situation off of, I'm not worried about that, man. His Triple G's almost gone. This situation's almost over. So that's all I gotta do. Once I take this spot, it's gonna be a long time before we get over that zone. So he can enjoy whatever he wants to try. I'm okay with it. I'm okay. Hey, it is what it is, man.
It seems that between yourself and Abel Sanchez, there's no love lost, and obviously, if you got a fighter and he had a fighter that were to clash, I think it would be a tremendous battle of the minds between two of the best trainers in the world.
No, it wouldn't, because we had that opportunity before, and they passed on the fight. So don't say that. They passed on the fight. Remember the kid he had, the Russian kid?
Yes.
What's his name? Yeah, all right, there we go. We passed on it. Yeah. A boxing brain and a non-boxing brain? The hell is that about? I mean, come on, man. For real? If I could go to the gym every day and hang out with boxers, you know what I know? What I learned from boxing?
What?
Nothing more than I knew when I walked in the ring, walked in the gym the first time. It's all speculation. If you've never done it before, it's speculation.
Of course it is. It's speculation.
It may work for other people, but until it actually works for you, if you've seen the experience, and you can shadow box and show the guy how to throw the punch, how to do this, it's kind of difficult to even teach something.
Absolutely. It's very hard to describe to somebody who's never done it before. The get up in the morning, making the sacrifices, making those long runs, going to the gym, getting your body into, having to whip your body into shape when you don't want to, laying on the ropes and taking punishment when you don't want to take punishment, sparring when you don't want to spar, throwing punches back when you don't want to be throwing punches back, cutting weight when you don't want to be cutting weight, staying at home when your mates are going out, all these things that a fighter has to do to dedicate himself.
What about taking those hard punches on the chest?
Well, yeah, just about.
You have to be able to think through that, because see what happens is when you get hit on the chin, you have to be able to think through this. So if you never punched before, or boxed before, you're telling somebody to do something that you never experienced before. Every boxer has been hit with a good shot and hurt. Every boxer has been hit with a good body shot. So how do you tell your fighter how to react to a punch that you've never taken? So you're yelling at him, and you're yelling like the guys go from being instructional to being chilly, because every cheerleader guy do this. No, you gotta know. I remember when I got hit with a body shot. I remember I got dropped. So I reference all of my information, and that's what I do. I mean, I teach from my personal situation and my personal information and the things that I've learned and constantly keep learning as boxing constantly keep evolving. So I don't know him. I don't know him at all. So I only talked about Triple G. I don't know him at all. So and that's point blank. I don't know him at all. So I just know, and I ain't talked about Triple G in a while. He got out, but I'm just saying. So that's what it's about. I mean, I'm okay with that. If you don't like me, I'm okay with that, man. Listen, this is how I'm successful in life. I don't like the people that don't like me.
I don't like the people that don't like me. I think I'm going to take that motto with you. I think I'll take that motto. I don't like the people that don't like me. I think I'm going to take that.
I'm for real, that's how it is. But I believe in that. I mean, if you like me, man, I love you, because it takes a lot to like somebody. I don't know him or dislike him. So I never talked about him. I just stated the fact he never boxed before. That's true. I say that. I mean, I talk about Triple G from time to time. Somebody asked me, but I'm not talking about it now. I just mentioned that I've talked about it, and that's where the issue comes in. Because before he said Errol Spence was going to lose to Kell Brook, but I did say that Errol Spence would knock out Triple G, or if he don't knock him out, he would beat him up so bad that he would do the same thing that Kell Brook did. I've seen him beat up big guys all the time, and he probably seen Triple G beat up big guys, because big guys are slow. Just like how slow he was. Look at, think about this. Now we're gonna talk about Triple G. Think about this. Think about how apprehensive he was when he fought Canelo. Canelo boxed the hell out of him. Canelo put his hands down in front of his face. People say, running, no, that's boxing. Don't stand there in front of a guy who's supposed to punch. He didn't throw anybody's shots. He's very apprehensive on all the punches too. Because you know what? This guy was character punch him. So think about this. Had he ever fought anybody with those skills and abilities, he would have been the same guy he was that night also. Who counter punching. He never faced nobody who was trying to really kind of hit him back. So hey, let's go. Let's talk about Brant, Errol Spence, and Jermell Charlo. Let's go.
Let's go. Well, let's talk. Okay. Before I go there, I've got some very interesting news for you. I think you may appreciate this news. Now, I'm going to tell you a little, very small story, and then the story is going to relate to you. Very short story is I've known Bermain Stavern and I've known James Earl Bashir for a number of years via interviews and obviously conversations off the record. And for Bermain's fight now with his rematch against Deontay Wilder, James Earl Bashir was actually in Vegas. I managed to get the two to connect. And Bashir had two of his heavyweights over there, Ruan Visser and Vlad Tsarenko, two heavyweights. And they ended up giving Bermain Stavern good sparring, and the connection between Bashir and Stavern went very well. Now, it so happens that Bashir is on his way to Texas, specifically Houston, Texas. And I said, I know a very good trainer out that way in Texas. But I think he's in Dallas. Ronnie Shields, yeah. But I know a guy that's in Dallas, Texas, who's a very good trainer. And he goes by the name of Derrick James. And James at Uncle Bashir said, wow, if Derrick James has got any heavyweights that would like any work sparring, he said he'd be more than interested to get a hookup with yourself. So I've just passed the message on to let you know that Uncle Bashir will be in town. And would
Yeah, I don't have any heavyweights, man. I just got 3 guys, man. They all like. If I had a heavyweight, I would love that because I mean, you know, they need every fighter needs that top quality work.
Yeah,
I believe in that. And so wait, I got a question. Let's go back to his. So when you asked Abel Pashin. He said that I should be training you. What did he say? He said that I didn't train Charlo.
Yeah, he said you didn't train. He said, well, Charlo was a Ronnie Shields project. Yeah.
Wait. Who was Triple G's first trainer? I mean, God, like, are you for real? Like, this guy is 40 years old almost. He only been out for 5 years. So who was training before then? He's only been on out like that we know about for 5 years. He went to the 80 something, what 19 was it 2004 Olympics or something like that?
Yep. And then
so what was he doing 2004 Olympics? So it's like that was what 13 years ago.
Yep.
So we've known about it for 5 years about. So what was he doing for 8 years? I bet he wasn't being trained by Errol Spence.
There, Triple G was brought to him.
Somebody brought him to him.
Yes.
Okay, all right then. Well, so that means. So what does that mean?
That,
he didn't fight out of California to go to the American Olympic Games, did he?
No.
All right. So okay. All right. Somebody show up somebody else was training them. Okay, that's all I'm saying. How do you make a point about somebody and the same point to be made about you? Like, you for real? I want Errol Spence first trainer. Errol Spence had a trainer before me. He had been boxing 3 years with the guy. Errol been with him for 10 years. Is he the product of the other guy? We're going on 10 years. This is like, this is great shit.
Well, I think I will go back to.
How hard is it to make an Olympian a world champion? How hard is it? An Olympian? I mean, are you for real? Olympic silver numbers? How hard is it to get them to possibly be a world champ?
Well, the probability is probably 75% chance. Because there are other guys who have been world champions, who have been Olympics that didn't make it. Tyrell Biggs, Audley Harrison there too. So there's two fighters there already that come to mind. Tyrell Biggs was Olympic gold medalist. Beat Lennox Lewis in the Olympics. And Audley Harrison, two guys, never won the heavyweight championship of the world.
You're right. I mean, it happened. I mean, like, they have a better chance than the guy who just started boxing, whatever. Come on, get into our question, man.
No, I was trying to get into our question, but you brought me back. But anyway, right, no more Abel Sanchez talking. No more Abel Sanchez. All right? No more Abel Sanchez.
If he was young, if he's my age, we can get in the ring and see who's winning.
Oh my God.
I'm 45.
45.
I'm 45, but listen, I'm boxing though.
Oh my God.
Don't bring your fighters or your kids or bro, you want to talk to that. If you can box, throw a jab or throw a punch, then you can't go. He's too old for that. So stop talking about something like that because you can't get in the ring. I'll still work out. Come on, man.
Yes, Derrick. Okay, so we move on. So basically, you've landed in Germany. Oh no, it wasn't Germany you landed. You landed in Denmark, I believe.
No. I landed in Germany, but I caught a train to Copenhagen.
Okay, right. So in terms of Rob Brant, how are you feeling about Rob in terms of his training and everything?
Man, I'm feeling good about it. We sparred the last day sparring. I think we did like 8 rounds today. Did about 3 or 4 rounds after that on the net. She's doing good, man. It's just about being able to go in there, deal with this very smart fighter, very intelligent fighter, so it's all about, he's a seasoned guy. So that could be to our advantage, or really could, because that's because the guy's older. He's very intelligent, he's very smart. So we just have to worry about that and deal with that. You know what I mean? So that's the key to it all. Just dealing with this guy level of intelligence.
Okay.
And and ability. He has ability. He's fighting a very intelligent mind. So it's that Rob to be settled, to be calm. He's going in the show with Germany, which I've done that before. We've done that before. Go somewhere, beat a guy on his home turf. So that's not a big issue. But Germany, you can't win in Europe, especially out in Germany, and not knock the guy out. I can't imagine. So I'm just saying, I don't imagine you winning in Germany. Now, either beating him up like really, really bad, or
knocking him out. Well, you've got some sense, because there's some trainers I know from the UK who think they can go to Germany and mess a guy around and still win a fight on points. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's not, listen, they don't. The reality of boxing, they don't bring you to another country, regardless if it's German or not. They don't bring you to another country to beat their guy. That doesn't make sense. They're not going to go find some guy from another country to be better than the guy that they have in their own country. So so you got to deal with that. Just understand the situation. It's not about putting pressure on yourself, but at the same time, you got to understand that there's a level of urgency, but you can be patient and be more intelligent, because you have to sit on top of a guy like this. We've seen a guy in his hometown quit before, so it's not like it'll be the first time. He's done it before anyway. So we just got to stay on top of him and hopefully get those same results that the other guy got.
So when you look at Errol Spence, when you look at Jürgen Bremer, what are the things you think he does well?
I think it's like he does a lot of things well. He knows how to see a certain punch. and he'll throw the punch that you present to him. I mean, he's going to throw some shots that if you give him a punch, he's going to throw a punch, right? And like I kind of watch him, and I saw like some shots he throws, and he can rough you up. He can use his head really well. I mean, he's a rough guy. I mean, so what happens is it takes a rough guy to deal with. You got to be rough. You know, you have to be able to box and be smart. But every now and then, you got to be able to be rough with him also. I mean, rough him up to the fact where you almost get a point taken away from him. So you got to get him off of the situation and make him think about what you're doing to him, you know, opposed to what he can do to you. You know, so that's the key to it all. Like, to get him off the situation and get him out of his strategy, whatever it is, and you know, try to implement yours to the best of your ability.
What do you think Rob Brant brings to the World Boxing Super Series that could make him an eventual winner?
Hey man, listen, he's only American for one, so he makes it a legitimate world tournament. Because if it wasn't for him, it was just a European tournament. But first of all, I mean, so you bring the American public into the fights, you know, and then I think that he's a smaller guy, so he's fast. And he's very elusive, but in the averages, he fought light heavyweight. So he's accustomed to fighting guys this particular size. You know, so he fought in the U.S. International Team. Went to the World Championships in 2009 and on his Team USA at light heavyweight. So, you know, he's accustomed to fighting guys this size, you know, so that's the key to it all. I mean, and we had him spot with Errol, we had him spot with Jermell, we had him spot with Derrick Jr., who he was over and he just left today. So he just left-handed fighter. And so guys were very fast. So if you get accustomed to that speed of those smaller guys, you know, and Errol has a lot of power for the speed, then you should be able to adjust to the speed of the bigger guys, is what I believe.
Okay. In terms of durability, Rob Brant, how durable is Rob Brant, and how much punishment is he able to take? I know it's not something a trainer likes to know about, or talk about, but it's still something that we need to know.
Well, I mean, he takes the man spoiled with Errol Spence, man. You see what you break your face, break your ribs, you break your whatever. You know what I mean? You know, so that Jermell Charlo will knock you out. Both those guys, you know, so small, top quality guys who put a lot of pressure. They can punch really hard, they're really fast. So, but at the same time, Rob's a big time boxer, so he can move. So he's gonna have to take that. I mean, he's not gonna. You know, hopefully we can get to a point where he mixes it up when he wants to. Because really, like I said, he has to fight a perfect fight. I don't care how ugly the fight gets. I don't care. I mean, you know, in a perfect world, we can fight a perfect fight. If you can't fight a perfect fight, fight an ugly fight. I'd rather win looking bad than lose looking good. But damn, Brant looked good in that fight, but he lost. Who cares? So that's not even an issue of mine. I'd rather win looking bad than lose looking good. Point blank.
Okay. You must have seen what's been going on around in the super middleweight division. Chris Eubank Jr., devastating knockout. George Groves folding his opponent. And Callum Smith looking not that convincing, but through to the next round. Your thoughts?
Love that. Way to go. I mean, come on, man. I'm not thinking about the guy. I'm talking about the guy. I'm not looking like I've told people before. I didn't watch Kell Brook fight until Kell Brook signed the contract. I didn't watch Erickson Lubin fight until Erickson Lubin signed the contract. I mean, like, I don't watch boxing like that. I mean,
okay.
So, Eubank Jr., I didn't watch him. I mean, you know, I saw like people had some on Facebook, whatever. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the Grove, because when we get to that point, I'm gonna be with him like I'm in the bed right now, watching the Jürgen Brammer. So I mean, you know, we're not at those guys. I'm looking at the guys who right. Jürgen Brammer right in front of me. My looking past Jürgen Brammer. I don't even care about those guys. Don't even exist to me right now. I'm thinking about one guy. this is the guy who's a key factor to everything else. And after that, we'll deal with Smith. But until then, it's all about Jürgen Brant.
Okay. In terms of punching power, the last fight that Rob Brant had was a spectacular knockout. What do you do to ensure that your fighter doesn't go out being right hand happy?
Hey man, I focus on the left hand. I mean, you don't land a right hand without a left hand. I mean, like you can't get that right hand out without shooting a good jab or doing something with the left hand to set something up. So I mean, the key to it all is just you have to be consistent and very, very insistent and very persistent and consistent with the jab. You cannot let up on it. You just got to stay busy with it to open up every shot he wants. I mean, the easiest punch to throw is a jab. The fastest punch you can throw is a jab. The hardest punch to block is a jab. So it's the reality of it. So you got to stay on the situation. I mean, right hand will come. But everybody, if it's so predictable that you don't throw right hand, hey man, what else do I have to worry about? It's one punch. I mean, it's not hard to do. One punch, you know. So, hey, that's the key to it all. So you have to be able to mix your shots up and pick the right shot. I don't practice combination. So it's not about a combination, it's about creating a shot or seeing the shot and throwing the punch. That's what it's about. So you have to be in the moment. You have to be very present. You have to be ready in the position to punch it all the time. That's what people always say about Errol. That's what they're starting to say about Jermell. He's ready to punch it all the time. And you'll see Robert, he has to go out there and execute to be exactly what I need him to be able to punch it all the time. You have to be able to punch when you need to punch, and you have to be able to punch when he's punching. So sometimes, so it just depends. You have to be set to punch it all the time.
Do you have any concerns about Jürgen Brant and what he brings to the table?
I'm concerned about everybody. I'm concerned about going to Sterling, Germany. It's like the most racist city in Germany. I mean, but so I heard him in an interview. I saw some video. He was talking about how mentioning East Germany, how it's changed. The East, and he emphasized the East. And the East side was the communist side, and the other side was the liberated side, or whatever. Hey man, that's what it is, man. He's a tough, he's a fighter who he's inspired by his people. It's hard to get a guy to quit. So Rob has to punch with his whole body, hit him with his whole body, 170, 80 pounds, whatever it is he weighs, rotate on the shot to put all of his body behind it. No way a body can endure that type of pain. Because whoever the guy was that made him stop, which I don't remember the guy's name, the British guy.
Nathan Cleverly. Nathan Cleverly.
Yeah, he wasn't a big puncher, but he threw a lot of punches. So he was a fighter. I mean, he fought that guy and made him, submit. So it's like, everybody can be hit. I mean, they got to be willing to hit the guy, stay on top of him, hit him with good hard shots. And I think that's the key to success. Create the shots that you want to land, man.
Now, Jürgen Brant, one of the things that people look at when they look at Jürgen Brant, if you're going to look at something to question, is his move from light heavyweight down to super middleweight. Hasn't fought in super middleweight for many years. Why is he even in a bloody tournament?
Hey, that cake, man. What you talking about? That cake, that money. It's making, hey, man, listen, it's making people do things that they don't want to do. While Brant's a middleweight, but he's fighting super middleweight. Hey, listen, man, the opportunity that this tournament presents. I mean, it's tough on an older guy to lose the weight, but it's really not that tough for the guy really truly dedicated. And obviously dedicated after the pictures of him. He was very slim. He did it the right way. It's obvious. He looked like he was close to the weight. And, hey, man, I'm impressed, to be honest. I mean, I know he's going to come there to fight. I mean, our job is just to be the best Rob Brant can be. Be poised, be focused, and be ready to punch at all times.
Now, do you see the comparisons between Rob Brant and Andre Ward in terms of being the underdog and the guy from the US, and the finals meant to be fought between two Europeans? Do you see the comparisons there?
probably not known as big punches, but can punch. You know, a tough guy, very, you know, smart, very athletic, and I think it's great. I mean, I think that if you think about how crazy it is that they don't give the Americans a great chance, but to be a star, you have to come to America. You can be great in your country. You can be huge in your country, but to be a super, super worldwide sensation, you have to come to America. So think how crazy that is. I mean, how does that work? I mean, you automatically discredit the American fighter? So who knows? I mean, I think it's great that they discredit Rob, or I think they, you know, it doesn't matter. It's just about what happens on the 27th, next Friday, what Rob does that matters the most. Not about any other fight before that to get to the point that they don't even matter. Never fought in Germany in front of, 8 to 10,000 people on a worldwide television on this stage. So this is what it's about right here. It's about everything he's done before. Every day he's sparred in gym, all this work he's done. It comes to this particular point right here. And so all of what he's done with Errol and Jermell and all these other guys, big light heavyweights and cruiserweight guys. You know, so hey man, that's what it's about right now. It is.
Do you have any concerns about when you go to fighting in Germany, any tricks being pulled, and are you ready and prepared for the tricks in terms of watching the water you drink or the food that you eat, or are you aware of these things? Are you clued up on it? I'm not saying you're not, but are you clued up? And if so, what are you going to take? What are you going to do to ensure that you don't get sidetracked on the night?
Well, I'm going to get over there, man. I'm going to have to go somewhere, some odd place, and buy some water. I won't drink the water at the press conference at all. We will not drink any other water that they're dealing with or they're handling. It's obvious we can't eat at certain restaurants, or really any restaurants. I mean, everybody's on the home team. That's why you think we had Errol in Manchester, and we went over to Sheffield, right? So everybody's on the home team, man. Everybody's wanting that guy to win. This is like that's how these countries like Germany and somewhere in Russia, or I mean, even parts of England. I mean, they're on the home team. I mean, people want they got to win, and they can give them some sort of advantage. They're going to do that. And I think that's what they do, man. So we just got to be prepared. He has the chef that came over with him, so it's not like his fiance is the chef. So it's not like she's just going to cook his food, man. And hey, hope for the best. That's what it's about.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, are you confident that Rob will be able to rise to the occasion come fight night?
Well, listen, man, I have to believe he will. I can't think anything other than that. I mean, he come this far. I mean, you would think I would hope that he would be inspired by his brothers, Errol and Jermell, and that he would rise to the occasion. It's too much taking. It's hard to get out. It's hard to get out of our gym. Listen to me. All this great sparring, all these tough guys. It's hard to get out of the gym successful than to come to a fight and not produce. So I don't even think about that. I think about him producing in the gym, and he's not fighting those guys he's sparring against. This Brant was on the top level, and he still is. I mean, he had to retire. When was the last time he fought? 2 years ago or something like that? A year and a half ago?
Fought a year ago. I think he just fought against Cleverly was his last fight.
How long ago was that?
I'd say 6-8 months ago, possibly.
I think it was further than that. But okay, yeah. So I mean, he's hey man, it's about just being who you are. I mean, and doing the best, being the best Rob Brant, best version of Rob Brant you can be. And if that's who he is, I don't have any issues with him. I mean, I think that he's gonna win the fight. Like I said, that it's not so much about fight. He has to fight a perfect fight, no matter what the perfect fight is. He can fight a B-hop fight, right? B-hop, rough you up a little bit, get you off your game plan, and figure out. He's fighting an older guy, right? So this older guy is very smart, so you got to be just as smart I have to be on top of my game. I have to be focused. I have to be, think outside the box with certain punches and certain instructions to give to inspire him to do the things I need to do. So this last week is like the most important aspect of our training camp.
Okay, so
strategies can change the game. But
so what will you do this week then?
What?
This last week, what will you do to taper off?
It's all about strategizing. I mean, it's strategizing, working on game plans and different things, and how to protect himself, and how to inspire some other moves out of this guy. He's a tough guy, man. I mean, he's been in the world with some of the best fighters in the world, so we can't assume that this is an easy fight because this guy's an older guy. And I would hope that he wouldn't assume that either, but I heard that he has. I heard him say that he's faster than Rob Brant. I mean, but I mean, okay, you faster than a middleweight at 99 years old? Well, okay then. We'll see. I mean, it's what it is. I mean, there's so much about timing and reaction time. So, I mean, he's a good fighter. I watched him. I saw him fight Clemson. I saw him fight the other guys. I mean, so, we'll see, man.
Jürgen Bremer, well, we'll have to wait and see. I saw the video sent me. Rob sent me a video of him hitting the bag, not hitting the bag, hitting one of the pads. He's had the guy holding the pad, and he was just landing singular big shots, body shots and head shots. He was putting not combinations, single shots, putting lots of power, digging shots in. So he sent us that. So it was interesting to see. He was well balanced. Even the way he positioned his hands and the way he's throwing shots, it reminded me very much of Andre Ward. Watching the way he had his chin tucked in and his shoulders hunched up, just the way Ward would throw shots, very similar.
Hey man, well, that's very flattering. I mean, because the reality of it is, Andre Ward's a phenomenal fighter. He's a great man, a great American fighter. He's a great American. So I mean, at this point to resemble something like that is a great compliment, So you just have to go in there afterwards and go in there and just be. If that's who you like us to be, well, we'll be that guy. So we got to be Andre Ward. That's who we want to be on Friday.
So okay, let's move on. I've got Rob Brant on the show on Sunday. I don't know if you're aware. I'll be talking to Rob on Sunday. What time am I talking to Rob? I'm talking to him 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening, or 9 o'clock in the evening. So let's talk Errol Spence. He's fighting a guy that I actually like and I rate very highly, Lamont Peterson. Lamont Peterson does it all. He's an all-round fighter, boxes on the inside, boxes on the outside, can slug if he needs to, can counter punch, can box on the outside. I think he's a very good, very underrated fighter. What are your thoughts on Lamont Peterson and the challenge he brings to Errol Spence?
Just like exactly what you said. All-around boxer, he can move, he can fight on the inside, he can fight on the outside, he can break you down. He's a very physical fighter. He has great skill. He has a great skill set. He's very intelligent fighter. He and Errol are really good friends. I mean, they're good friends. He's like an older brother to Errol. In a sense, when it comes to boxing. So I mean, I think it's interesting. It'd be great. It'd be a great fight. I mean, they sparred many rounds before, so it should be interesting.
How do you see this fight? Do you see this being a tough assignment for Errol? Tougher than Kell Brook or lesser than Kell Brook?
I don't know. I mean, Kell Brook is a big guy. Like, really, I'm watching the fight, being there with Kell Brook, you really realize how he's been beating people because of his physicality, his size. People say he's going to hold you. No, he's just going to do something to you to throw you off of your game plan. You know what I mean? And that's what he would do. He would never let you get started. But I mean, Errol was bigger and stronger, just as big and strong as he was, and that didn't work. Because we prepared to fight on the inside, fight those type of, like people, like you would ask me, what are you going to do with Kell Brook hold? I said, nothing. You ain't going to do that for so long. I think about this. How many times did he hold in the fight? None. But he got coach Errol pushed him off when he did it with the body shot. So you see, it's like, you know, we didn't have to worry about that. So I mean, you know, Peterson is a great fighter. I mean, he's smart, very intelligent, very seasoned. He won a world title, 2 times or whatever. He's smaller, but he's a very physical fighter. So that's what I think that when, you know, come to fight against, you have to use your intelligence. I don't think he's faster than Errol, but, you know, he has to use his intelligence. I think he'll do that.
So what will you be telling Errol for this fight against Peterson?
What do you say?
What would you be telling Errol for this fight against Peterson? Considering they're that close as well.
Considering what? I missed that.
Considering that they're close, Errol looks up to Lamont Peterson. How do you train your fighter to deal with that?
Hey man, Errol Spence is a different kind of guy. One day I asked him, I said, man, you see what I do to my friend? Yeah, he'll beat him up. Well, he doesn't care about that. He has to go. I mean, you don't let anybody or anything get in front of your goal. They all have aspirations or whatever, and so does he. I mean, so, you know, he's like, he wants to be undisputed welterweight champ. So what that means is he wants to win titles. Okay. Whether he's facing his friend or his cousin or whatever the case may be, he's got to go in there and get what he wants. So he's going to have an unfulfilled part of his life, or segment of his life that he's going to fulfill his goals. And he's got very goal-oriented. So he's going to do what he has to do to be successful.
It's not the first time that Errol Spence and Keith Thurman have been on the same panel at Showtime. Has Errol ever mentioned anything to you about Keith Thurman and the willingness to want to fight him?
Oh, well, you know, we all know he wants to fight him, you know, so it's not a secret. You know, he wants to fight him. He wants to prove. So he wants to prove that he's the best welterweight in the world. It's not so much about Keith Thurman, it's about what he has, right? Those belts or whatever he has, the statue that he has. So if it was anybody else, he would have the same desire, I believe, to be successful. So I mean, they just have a part of his the legacy that he wants to build for himself.
Let's talk a bit about Al Heyman. I've heard so many different rumors about Al Heyman. I've heard rumors that, you know, he's spending other people's money, not his own, and the money's finished now. So fighters that were getting paid well by Al Heyman won't get paid as much anymore. I've heard rumors that Errol Spence may leave Al Heyman after fallout. Tell us what the story is about that.
Well, I don't know anything about Al Heyman's money, what money he's paying fighters. I mean, that's like a feminine thing for a man that don't want to care about what another man doing with his own money. I'm not that guy. I think that's what women will want to know about it, man. How much money is he making? So I'm not into that. I don't know anything about Al Heyman's money at all. I'm not into that. I mean, Errol Spence is not leaving Al Heyman. I mean, these are all speculation, all rumors. I mean, like, listen, I know nothing about that part of the business other than he gets guys in great fights, great positions. You know, I have 2 fighters who are advised by him who are world champions. That's all I know. I don't know anything else other than that. I like him a lot.
So there's no. So I know there's rumors, and you hear rumors, and the situation with Luis Collazo was one of the guys that was being considered. Ortiz was another one being considered, and Lamont Peterson was the 3rd person. So talk to us about that selection process. Was it just the fact that those guys, one got injured, the other guy just wasn't good enough, and Lamont Peterson was left?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to process one. I just know I got a phone call. He told me what I thought about a fight. This is the guy. There we go. I mean, so it's like, I don't know. Lamont Peterson is the top 5 quality opposition. Top 5 welterweight, one of the toughest guys in the division. Very durable. He's done well against, you know, the guys in the division. He beat a British guy. For that WBA title that he got.
Amir Khan, where people said that he was on steroids that night.
He beat the British guy to win the WBA title that he had. They just relinquished. the British guy, they're from over there. He's like one of y'all guys.
You sure?
And the reason why I know it because I was on holiday in Cancun, and the guy's manager and promoter was talking to me. He said, "I saw one of you guys with Errol Spence shirt on." I was like, "Yeah." And me, he's like, "Oh," he said, "So what do you have to do with my summer's training?" He said, "I got a guy who just fought Lamar Peterson, just lost to Lamar Peterson, and he lost the title, but he had that title, obviously." He said he wants to see if we can fight him. I can't think of the guy's name. He's contacted me several times.
Yeah, he's not British. I know he's European, but he's not British.
No, I thought he was a British guy.
No, he isn't British. I know you talk about it's a European guy. He's got a long, funny name, but he's not British. He's European. I know he won the WBA title off him, and then he relinquished that title, didn't he?
No, he lost to Lamar Peterson. This is the guy that Lamar Peterson beat.
Yeah, I know. Lamont Peterson beat that guy. He's European, and then Lamont Peterson relinquished the title. I understand.
Oh, yeah. Title really kind of not real.
Yeah.
As long as Keith Thurman is the champion, that title's not real. As long as there's a WBA champion, the super champion, the other title really is not real. It's not really, it's like a junior title now.
Yeah. So obviously, when does Errol get into camp for Lamont Peterson?
Hey man, he's kind of like, he wants to start, but he's probably gonna start as soon as I get back.
Okay.
We'll start working as soon as I get back. That's like the 1st of November. We'll fight in January sometime.
Okay.
So we'll be getting ready, man. As soon as I get back, he'll jump on top. He's ready to go. He's been sparring, 12, 13 rounds with Jermell and Bob, helping these guys get ready. So he's already in pretty decent shape. So I can just imagine how he's going to, he's fighting a tough, very formidable foe, somebody he looks up to, somebody he cares about. But, for this situation, it's like somebody's in his way. So,
do you see?
Go at the guy,
will Errol and Jermell go to come to Germany to support Rob?
Nah, man, I don't think that. Jermell mentioned it, but it could be possible. But I wouldn't advise anybody to come over here for the fight or whatever.
Why?
Racist city. I mean, who wants anybody to go through that? Are you for real? We will have to deal with that. I wouldn't want to bring anybody over having to deal with the head of the Nazis. Are you for real? Like, what kind of crap is that, man? They shouldn't even have us dealing with this crap, man. Especially not somebody. My wife doesn't even know about the whole Nazi situation. I didn't want to tell her, but I didn't want to worry her. And come on, are you for real? Like, so hey, man, what could you do? You can't even protect yourself because why? The police is part of the situation too. I mean, come on, man.
Wow.
So you just got to be there and just take everything and say everything that happened to deal with it. It is what it is. The rebranded version of the Nazi Party. It lives in Sherwin, Germany. So you can't be caught out at nighttime. You tell me, why would I ask any of the other guys I trained to come over and support them? I'm just telling you, I'm just asking you. Why don't you come over there with me then?
No, you're right.
Oh, am I right now? Okay.
Dang.
I mean, well, yeah.
Wow. So that's a lot to have on your head going into a fight then.
I mean, it's really not. Because, I mean, we live in America, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this. You just know that that's a part of it. And that night will give them a reason to even dislike it even more.
Oh, dear me. Do you think it was strategic to have? Do you think it was strategic to have the fight there in that particular town, knowing that?
I think that, man, listen. I think that they could have had it anywhere, but they chose that. I think that they want to sell tickets to him. He has the name. He's a former world champion. They believe in him, so he has to rob us to go in there and fight his butt off. Because you fight against him, you fight against whatever it is, that party, and fight against Union Brahma, so it's a fight, man. I mean,
do you think
they can't fight for him, but all his fans can't fight for him. So that's the key.
Do you think Brant's got the power to stop Jürgen Bremer?
What did you say now?
Do you think that Brant's got the power to stop Jürgen Bremer?
I think anybody can knock anybody out. So yeah, I mean, if he hits him with a punch or he rotates his body on it, he can knock him out. I mean, Bremer is a good puncher. He's a physical fighter. But I think Rob has to be on point. He has to be able, to be on top of the situation. That's what I believe. I think he has to be perfect. And Bremer's a tough guy, very, very elusive guy. So it's gonna be pretty. We have a tall order for us, but we're up to the challenge. And that's the key to it all. It's being up to the challenge.
How much support has Rob got from America going into this tournament? And how many Americans do you think will come to Germany to support him?
It's going to be Americans, let me see, it'll be five.
Yeah.
5 Americans that are coming over here to work Wild Corner, including Wild Brant. That's how many coming over here. Like, I mean, that's what I'm assuming. I mean, America, I don't know. I mean, like, the American people support Wild Brant. American people are supporting me also. But I mean, I'm saying, like,
Wow.
I don't know about people coming over here, so. Just as long as everybody know where we are. So we come up Memphis. You know where to look for us at. That's all I gotta say. Because Rob Brant, with all that being said, Rob Brant, the kid Jürgen Bremer's ass. Listen, if I'm gonna go out, they're gonna be mad at me. They're gonna be mad because we whooped his butt. We kicked his ass. Not because we just don't like good. Like, no, we wanted them to be able to whoop that. Come on, man. So yeah, that's what we want. That's what I want, man.
Finally, Jermell's win, his first round knockout win. Does that mean that you would get him back out sooner rather than later because of that quick win, or would you just rest him anyway because he's had the long, hard training camp?
I mean, we had a long, hard training camp. He was in the car accident like a week and a half before the fight.
Wow.
So, arrest his body. We had a lot of things going on. So it's a lot of crazy stuff happening. Car accident. A lot of situations going on. So I mean, you just gotta get back on it, man, and just focus on the situation. Where I make sure my guys work out all the time, so they're not just taking a break.
Okay.
There's no holidays, so I think she's working out.
Okay. Well, fair enough. We'll have to cut you there because there's some big fights on tonight on TV, and I'm going to be commentating on a few of those fights tonight. But I will take this opportunity to ask you. I would love to get an opportunity to talk to Jermell Charlo. I think he's a fighter that doesn't get the credit he deserves. I think the press do not jump all over him like they jump over many other fighters. And I'd love to be able to break an exclusive with one of the Charlo brothers. So I leave that in your capable hands. I think you know what I'm about now as an interviewer, and I would love to be able to have, honored to have him on the show. So I'll leave that with you, Mr. James.
I'll let you know, man. I'll talk to him about that. I'll let you know.
Okay. Well, you know how I've handled Mr. Brant. So I'll leave that with you.
You'll be able to. I know you'll. I'm gonna talk to him. He lives in California, so I give him a call or whatever and talk to him.
Okay. We'd love to talk to him. I'd love to get to know more about him and what got him into boxing and how he feels in the sport of boxing, whether he feels appreciated and what his dreams and aspirations are and who his role models were growing up and who he aspires to, what he aspires to do as a boxer, his community and all sorts of things that I'd love to know more about him. Because at the moment, I just see a guy who boxes very well, just not, It's not I can't connect with him. I want to connect with him. I want to know more about him, but I don't want to connect with him via the media that's out there at the moment, because I know the media out there can be very biased in how they portray people. So that's why I would love the opportunity to talk with him in a more intimate setting. All right. So well, you know me anyway, so you know how I roll. You know how things go with me. So
yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. I know who you are. I bet you and your wife.
There you go, brother. Yeah. There you go. All right. So
I bet you and the boss.
Me and the boss. That's right, the boss. That's it. That's how it goes. The boss. Yes. See, I think I've come into wisdom as I get older. I understand who the boss. I used to think I was the boss, but I know who the boss is now.
Well, I'm the boss of my house, man. Everybody, I don't know how y'all bitches gotta do y'all situation. You know?
Don't let your missus catch your hair and saying stuff like, you know.
I don't care about that.
Oh yeah, big talk. Okay, big talk from Mr. James. Okay. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. We'll hold that with you. Yeah. That from you, and withhold all the good food as well.
Yeah, I cook out. I do the cooking. I won't cook her some food.
Well, that might work in your household. That certainly doesn't work in my household.
All right, it's okay. As long as you know how to deal with the situation. You gotta do to make it through the house, man. I'm not tiptoeing and creeping through my house.
Hey, listen. You met my wife. You know how militant she is. And we're talking Chicago here, yeah. So, all right.
That gang stuff ain't real, man. You know, I don't care about that stuff.
Okay.
Chicago, man. You know, hey, man.
I listen. I know you took one thing now, and then when the missus catches a hold of you, it's a different story altogether. You can talk that big talk. You're in Germany at the moment. When you go home, it's a different story.
Listen.
Okay.
I promise you, I was saying the exact same thing with my wife. I've done it before. I'm not like living or demeaning. I'm just saying. My mother didn't raise me and let no woman treat me like that.
Oh no.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
My mother did not. She told me how to be. No. She didn't raise me. So no. Nobody gonna be no. So that's what I'm saying. As a testament to me, mommy.
Oh. You wear the trousers in the house. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah. There's no doubt in there in terms of wearing the trousers in the household. But if you want heaven at home, then you know what you got to do. And if you want hell at home, you know exactly what you don't do.
Hey man, that's what somebody said, but I don't know about that. I'm just telling you. I love you, brother. We're not gonna get this, we're not gonna get to this point. You see this, remember when we did that interview?
Yes.
And my wife kept I stopped on the interview. She's like, "Oh, you gotta be tired." What did I do? I kept doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I did it because my man came to London to meet with me and talk to me. So let's remember this now. She's like, "What are you doing? You gotta spend time with me?" What I do? Tell me what I did. Tell me what if we record. Tell the world what I did.
You kept it moving.
All right then. Okay. I'm saying. You can't imagine how many times I stopped answering the phone.
Stop answering the phone.
She had to come looking for me. Hey, I'm telling you.
That's absolutely right. You know what? We're gonna have to do a show outside of boxing to just talk man stuff. I think me and you could have a very good conversation.
I think you know what? Listen, man, that's a great. To be honest, that's a great idea because the problem with the world is that men don't talk to men about other things.
Absolutely.
Or they lie to each other about other things.
Absolutely.
They're honest about other things.
Yeah.
So I in life is because, and listen, the same thing for women. Women lie to other women, or they give them bad advice or whatever. You know, the worst thing ever happened to another man is another man, and the worst thing happened to a woman
is another woman.
They've got some bad advice and they've acted on that. So listen, this if we could push this, I'm telling you, because I'm just listening. People, the only way you have great relationships is listen, man. For one, you gotta listen to your woman. You gotta give your woman what she wants physically. Listen to her. She know what she's like. You can't see this. Is what guys do. Guys go into a physical relationship. I'm talking about physical. And to say that these other women never complain to them about their sexual prowess, right? They think that well, those other women just probably lied to them. Tell them the truth. But the wife is like, this is not working. I need you to tell me what's going on. I'm gonna tell you this is what I like. I know what you like to do. Every woman is not the same, so you got to learn that. What your wife wants, not what all the other girlfriends have before you lied to you. They tell you the truth. Listen to your wife. Talk to your wife. She's gonna tell you exactly what she wants.
This is what they call that. They call that the 7 love languages. That's what they call that.
Well, I just know, listen, that's the number one thing you will listen to. Other than that, if you don't do it, somebody else is gonna listen to your wife.
I know that one too. Well, exactly.
Hey, when you smiling at, hey, babe, listen, sweetheart, had a good day today. If your wife had a good day, you had nothing to do with it, that's a problem.
That's a bad sign, yeah, absolutely. Thank goodness I haven't had that yet.
That's right, but listen to your wife. All I gotta say, that don't mean she's the boss or not. I'm just saying, you gotta listen to her, just like she should listen to you.
Oh, yeah.
Because people generally stray outside of a relationship because of the needs are not being met. They're being ignored. They're unfulfilled. I mean, and that's not a rule. That's not a reason to stray out. But what happens now is that in society now, people are free to do whatever, right? So, but even back then they were free, but they were so committed to the idea of relationship they couldn't do much. Now people don't feel that same way. So it's like this. They're gonna be satisfied with they do whatever or not. So you have to be willing to be there, nurture. I don't care how you feel. No, it don't matter, because you can laugh and crack jokes and talk to your friends all day, but you can't be that same way with your spouse. That's a problem. You don't find somebody to talk to and laugh and joke right in your head. Don't do your referee or whatever you got to do. I'm just saying.
Absolutely, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think what you're saying is a lot of sense. But we definitely, I think it's overdue. I think one of the things, I think in our own community, never mind anybody else's community, because we've got enough issues in our own community before we deal with anybody else's community. You know, we need to have some serious conversations as brothers and sisters about life and relationships. And I think there's a problem when you have to rely on a pastor or a preacher to deal with the basic issues, because when you get a third person in, the pastor in, sometimes you find that the woman or the man is worshiping that pastor, or you know, to a point where the pastor becomes God in their life. You know, there's a big problem there, you know, and it's happening to a lot of us.
Talk about preachers and pastors and bringing them into their idea of a perfect individual is Jesus, which is right from the Christian point of view. But Jesus knew not to get married. Can you imagine Jesus getting married, having a woman? You know, Jesus was black, so Jesus having a black woman like, where you going? Hang out with all 12 dudes. You got that hoe over there with the hooker. You know, what's the name?
Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene. What that mean? What she doing over there with all the 12 dudes? What y'all doing? I mean, so look, and Jesus like, listen, I'm not gonna get married. I'm just gonna do this, whatever, and be done with it. You know, so hey, listen. So you can't even implement that into the situation.
No.
The person who's never been married, how they gonna tell you how to be married? I'm just saying. Person who's never threw a punch or took a punch, how can they tell you about taking punch or throwing a punch? Same thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right, I have to stop. I have to stop you here because we could go on, and I'm gonna not commentate tonight, and I'm gonna get destroyed for not doing it. All right.
Go ahead, mate. Good day.
All right, Derrick. Thank you so much for talking to us on BWTM. We appreciate you. Trainer of the Year. Yeah, I said it. Trainer of the Year. BWTM has already given you the Trainer of the Year award.
Well, listen, I hope so, man. You never know, but you hope so. Look how many times those other people, those other trainers have lost, though. I mean, think about it. Freddie Roach lost, all the other guys, everybody else who have lost, and like a lot of losses. They even win Trainer of the Year, and they have losses. It's been like 5 years since I had one of those losses.
Let's not even talk. Let's not even talk about it. Let's not talk about it. Let's talk about next Saturday night, next Sunday morning, and Rob Brant's arms being raised aloft. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. You take care. Take care. So there you have it. Derrick James on BWTM Sports. We've said it. Trainer of the Year. We've called it already. As you said, we've mixed up. We've talked boxing. We've talked relationships, and some real talk there from Derrick James. You can always rely on him for that. Well, that's it from us for now. Join us shortly as we'll be talking Ian Lewison versus Joe Joyce. We had Lewison on here last night. We'll be doing live commentary for that fight. See you soon. Take care.